What is up, my Majin Buu crew? It's your boy, King Majin, coming back at you guys with another video. And today I'll be doing the long-awaited part 2 of What If Asta Had Solo Leveling. Part 2. But anyway, I know you guys have been waiting for this. I want to get you guys out as soon as possible, but I had to work on other series, and I'm kind of busy with stuff in my life, so yeah. Well, that's what I want to tell you. Oh, and also, I had you guys come up with names for the swords Asta used, so I'm going to show you them now. For his fire and water swords, you guys, one of you in particular came up with 2 names I really liked for this, so I'm going to use them. For the water sword, it is the Blade of Divine Water, and for the fire sword, it is the Blade of Demonic Fire. I really like these names, and the one who suggested them was Sang. And yeah, thanks man for your suggestions. I really appreciate it. I love your names, so yeah. Whew. And in this part, I will be giving him the Demon Slayer sword. A lot of you guys wanted it back in the last part, and I honestly, some of the stuff the Demon Slayer sword can do is very crucial to the plot in Black Clover, so I don't see Asta. Yeah, I see Asta with it, but it will drain his mana a little bit slowly, or his MP. But he has enough of it, so it wouldn't make that big of a deal, really. So yeah. So anyway, let's get into it. What if Asta had solo leveling, part 2. We pick things up with Asta and Yuno preparing to leave Hodge Village to go take the Magic Knight's entry exam. Everyone would say goodbye to them as, well, they would leave. Asta would go off and begin training and completing dungeons and still doing his daily routine to get more powerful and level up as fast as possible. On his journey, he would still meet Kruger and he would teach Asta swordsmanship like in the original canon, causing Asta to become more proficient with his swords. Over this time, Asta would have gotten much better with the fire and water sword, being able to pull off more complicated moves with both of the swords. He would have also gained a new sword over his time training and going through dungeons and stuff. A lightning sword, which I'm going to let you guys name this. Come up with an edgy type name for this, but still like a cool edgy name for this, so yeah. He would have practiced a lot with this sword, thinking it's probably his most powerful sword at this point in time. He would have also gained armor, the same armor Jin Woo has in solo leveling. Yeah, you guys can see it there, so yeah. He would gain the armor and stuff like that to make his defense and his overall power much better. He would have also reached level 50. Becoming a lot more powerful. And over this time, Yuno and Asta would have made it to the Clover Kingdom, with them both being just a little bit faster, but they could have got there a lot faster, but they took their time, and yeah. They both will reach the Clover Kingdom, and I already said that. They will went into the city looking around, seeing all the cool stuff. As Asta would be looking around, he would still eat the same squid because it's cheap, but Asta in no way is, well, broke. He has a large amount of money from the system he uses, so even if he wanted to, he could exchange the gold from the system for actual currency because the gold in the system isn't worthless, but it just wouldn't work in the Clover Kingdom as the same type of currency. If anything, this gold's probably more pure than what they have. But anyway, the main point is Asta isn't broke. He's actually pretty wealthy, if he thinks to sell the gold that he gets from his system. So yeah. Asta and Yuno would go to take the Magic Knight's entry exam, seeing a large amount of people. Asta would check in, and they will all begin the bird test, with a bunch of birds just flying around pecking at people. Yuno will be the only one not affected by this, as everyone looks on saying, "That guy, the birds aren't even going near him." as everyone just looks on in amazement, as they see Asta with a bunch of birds pecking at him. Asta will be getting visibly annoyed by this, and he will release his bloodlust, and all the birds would back off and run in fear. Except for one, but she would just stay back looking at Asta, thinking, what's up with that guy? We all know who this is, so yeah. As this will be going on, Yuno will look at Asta with a sense of pride and fear. Pride because that's his rival, and fear because of, well, Asta's immense bloodlust. As time will be going on, Asta would still bump into Seke, with Seke sensing Asta's bloodlust and thinking, nope, I ain't getting a part of that, as he would then walk away. As Asta would be just walking around, he would still bump into Yami, and Yami would grab his head like in cannon, but as he begins to squeeze, Asta would feel nothing. He would then grab Yami's arm, pulling it off of him, and telling him, sorry man, I didn't mean to bump into you. As Yami would then look at him and sense a very powerful ki coming off of him, which Yami would then say, hey kid, that's some intense ki you got there. And as Asta would be looking and hearing that Yami say this, he would say, what's ki? As Yami was then prepared to explain what ki is, two people would come right behind him. This would be Finral and I think George. Honestly, he was never a character that I paid attention to. But anyway, Yami and them would go, with Yami saying, we'll talk later, kid. As Asta would then say, sure. Forming a type of bond with Yami, because Yami can sense Asta's ki and how immense it is. And Yami would then start to consider putting him on his Magic Knight team at this point onwards. Asta would be waiting around for the next part of the test, where Captain of the Golden Dawn, William, would say what the first test is, creating a giant tree and giving everyone a broom. As Asta would be giving a broom, he wouldn't bother to try to fly with it like he did in the original canon. All he would do is just jump into the air, jumping higher than the stadium, just a little bit higher than the stadium. As everyone would be looking on, they would think, what? I thought that guy had no magic. How is he able to do this? As Yami would look on thinking, that kid, he's something else. As the captains would look on thinking, I can't sense any magic power coming from him. Fuegoleon would say, as Yami would then say, I don't think the kid has any, but his physical body is pretty powerful. As Nozel would say, magic is everything. The kid won't go far with just physical strength. And as Yami would then say, I don't know about that. As Jack would then say, ah, Yami, you think this kid with no magic could actually do something? And as Yami would then say, let's watch and see, jerk. And as Jack would then say, what did you say? And Yami would then say, you heard what I said, string bean. As Jack would be getting prepared to attack, William would break up this altercation and tell them to settle their problems after this. And after both Jack and Yami would sit down. Next, we would go with the next part of the exam. We would go to magic ability exam. Asta, instead of not being able to break the brick wall, he would pull out both of his swords, pretending to pull them out from his grimoire to not attract attention, and fling the fire and water slashes at the brick wall, destroying that and everything behind it. As the captain would look on, saying, what? We thought this kid didn't have any magic. As Fuegoleon would say, he appears to have both fire and water magic. As Charlotte would then say, but I can't sense any magic power emanating off of him. I can sense something from the swords, but I'm not really sure what it is. It's very powerful though. As Nozel would then say, I can sense it too. As Yami would then say, this kid is more than meets the eye. The next part of the exam will go by with the magic control exam. Asta, instead of not being able to do anything here, he would create water and fireballs, shooting them through the targets. Shooting them through multiple targets, shocking everyone. As the captain would look on, impressed by Asta, saying that he has pretty good control. Next we will have Creation Magic Exam. Asta with his fire sword would then create a horse made of fire, and the horse would start galloping all around the entire Magic Knight's entry exam hall. Everyone would then see this and be astounded about the level of control he has. As Qui-Gon would then say, he's very proficient with fire magic. As everyone the captain would be looking on just in awe about how incredible Asta is, and wondering what his magic really is. Next we go to the magic development exam, which Asta wouldn't be able to do anything here, and he would just sit this one out, not really trying to look like an idiot or anything. As the Magic Knight captains would look on, saying, he can do all of that, but he can't. As Nozel would then say. Yami would then say, who cares, the kid's powerful. And pretty skilled as well. As Real would then say, that was pretty incredible though. How he made that fire horse? It was beautiful. As all the Magic Knight captains would start talking about him. Yuno would then be looking at Asta as they would announce that they would be doing combat round. As Asta would then hear this, he would look at Yuno, and the both of them would walk towards each other, with Asta saying, you ready for round 2, Yuno? And Yuno saying, bring it on, Asta. As they would both jump back. As the Magic Knight captains would be looking on about this, they would say, the two most noticeable here. And as Yami would then say, the kit with the 4-leaf grimoire versus the kit with the 5-leaf grimoire. This might be interesting. As all the other captains look on, prepared for this battle. As, Asta and Yuno would jump back. Asta would pull out both of his swords, and Yuno would activate his grimoire. And as they would be announced to start the match, Asta would send the fire slash and the water slash, with Yuno sending wind slashes at Asta. They repeat this process with Asta moving around at high speeds, dodging Yuno's wind slashes. Note this, Asta is holding back not to hurt Yuno because, he's much more powerful than Yuno, and he's just giving him a fun fight. As Asta's jumping back and forth all over the stadium, he would begin to send fire slashes all around Yuno, putting Yuno on the defensive. Fire and water slashes, putting Yuno on defensive. Yuno would begin to be pushed back. As Asta would then take his chance, pushing through Yuno's wind attack with his sword, hitting him in the stomach with the hilt of the fire sword, coating it with fire and sending Yuno flying back. He would then stabilize himself with his wind, getting back to his feet. But that blow did do a lot of damage to Yuno, and you will be barely able to stand up. As Asta would put both of his swords away, he would then say, Yuno, you want to finish this off with one attack? And Yuno would then say, what? As Asta would then say, I have a new move I want to try. You down for it? As Yuno would then say, bring it on, Asta. As Asta would then pull out his lightning sword, and Yuno would begin to spiral wind in his hands. The captains would be looking on at this and thinking, one final attack. This would be something Yami would say, as the captain would be thinking, should they stop this? As William and Yami would then say, no, let the kids go at it. We'll finally get a good understanding of where both of them hold up. As Asta and Yuno would jump back, they would both begin to build up power. As Yuno's attack would grow larger, and Asta, holding the sword kind of partially in the air, thunder would start to erupt in the clouds. As everyone would then be looking on at this, thinking, whoa, that's some serious power. As the people closest to Yuno and Asta would start to run back a bit, so they wouldn't be caught up in the blast. As their attacks would get bigger, a bolt of lightning would strike Asta's sword, imbuing it with energy. As all the captains would be looking on at this, thinking, maybe we should stop this. as even Dorothy will wake up, sensing this immense power. She'll be thinking, what is up with these kids? As everyone in the captains will be looking on, thinking if they should stop this or if they should let this continue. As Yami will then say, let it continue. This is just incredible. As Charlotte would then look at Yami with a big smile on his face, and she would then start to blush a little bit. We know we have to get that Charlotte comedy in there. But as everyone be looking on about the power they're sensing, Sala will be looking on thinking, this magic power. And as the other people from the other squads will be looking on, they will be beginning to tremble, as everyone would then sense their Asta and Yuno's immense magic power. Even Noelle would sense this power and be impressed, thinking, whoa, that guy's intense. As Sake would be looking on, Sake? I know it's Sake, but I like Sake better, because this guy sucks. But he would be looking on at Yuno and Asta thinking, I am so glad I didn't go near that guy. He would be referring to Asta, because of the immense magic power he's sensing. As the bolt of lightning would pierce through Asta's sword, the clouds and the lightning in the sky would dissipate, as the sword imbued with lightning power would then be pointed at Yuno, as Yuno's attack would be finished and preparing to launch at Asta. As Asta would then say, you ready, Yuno? As Yuno would say, I was born ready. As they would both launch their attacks at one another, Asta a lightning slash with Yuno, a hurling tornado shooting towards Asta. As the attacks would clash, Asta's electric lightning slash would cut through Yuno's giant tornado attack. As Yuno would be looking on thinking that he's dead, the attack would then pass right by Yuno, sending in a huge slash to the stadium, showing you just a whole huge gap between the stadium and Yuno. You guys get what I mean. Not a crater, but a slash through the entire stadium. As this would happen, Asta would then go towards Yuno, putting the sword to its throat, saying, I win. As Yuno would then looked back at Asta because he was still stuck on the electric attack that was hurled at him. As Yuno would then put his arms up saying he surrenders, Asta would then say, not bad, Yuno, you've gotten much stronger. As Yuno would then say, you've gotten even more powerful than last time we fought, Asta. As Asta would then say, thanks. As Asta would then look back at Yuno and say, by the way, I will become the Wizard King. And Yuno would then say, no, I will become the Wizard King. As they would look at each other and fist bump. As all the captains would be looking on, they would be impressed about the sheer amount of power they felt from both Yuno and Asta. But they would be more impressed with Asta, with Fuegoleon saying he demonstrated powers nearly equal to a captain. As Yami would then say, yeah, the kid's certainly impressive. As everyone would be thinking about taking Asta in for themselves. Not knowing his magic ability and still being wary about that, but seeing the amount of power that Asta has. As this would be going on, they will call up people to choose what squad they want to join, and like in canon, every squad will hold their hand up for Yuno. As Yuno would then pick the Golden Dawn, the best squad, like in the original canon. As Asta would then go up next after Yuno, every captain would put their hand up for Asta, but the captain Asta would be choosing here would be Yami. As Yami would be surprised about this, saying, kid, you sure you want to join our squad? We're the worst of the worst. And as the other captains would then agree, asking Asta why did he choose the Black Bulls. Asta would then say, my rival chose the best squad. I want to choose the worst squad and make it the best. And as Yami would then look on at Asta, saying, huh, you can try, kid. As Asta would then say, I'm planning on it. As the two of them would then look at each other, with a big grin on both of their faces, with Yami happy that he got someone interesting and powerful, and Asta really interested in Yami, getting a weird feeling about him, but something that he respects. As this would be going on, the Black Bulls and Yami would then head off to their hideout, with Fenrir making a portal for all three of them. As Yami, Fenrir, and George would both exit the portal, with Asta coming in last, they would see the Black Bull's base. With Asta thinking, this place is a mess, but it looks pretty cool. As they would enter the Black Bull's hideout, Asta would look around, seeing two guys fighting for some reason. A giant guy just standing there. A guy in the corner with a nosebleed looking at a picture. A half-naked woman drinking till she's blue in the face, or red in the face in this case. And a small girl eating her fill. Yami would then say, "Hey, you idiots, I'm back," as they will all see Yami and go to greet him. With all of them just yelling at Yami, with Luck asking, "Hey, Yami, did you bring anyone back new that can fight?" Vanessa saying, "You want to grab a drink?" Charmy asking if Yami wants something to eat, and Magnus saying, "Captain Yami!" As Gray would be in the corner breathing heavily, and Ghosh would ask Yami, can he go see his sister, with Yami saying no, with Ghosh being visibly annoyed by this. As Yami will be talking to his squad, Asta would then interject saying hi to everyone, as they will all go flooding Asta, with Charmy asking if he wants something to eat, Ghosh asking if he wants to see a picture of his sister, Luck asking if Asta wants to spar, Vanessa asking if he wants something to drink, Magda just saying, "Hey, kid," and Gray breathing heavily. Asta would then say, "I would love something to eat, your sister's very cute, I'm down to spar anytime, I'm underage, hey man, and hi," to all of them. As this would be going on, Magna would then step in front of Asta saying, "Before you can join the Black Wolves, you'll first have to go through your baptism," as Asta would then say, "What?" As Magna would begin to explain how he has to fight his way to get into the Black Bulls. As Yami would hear this, he would then say, "Go for it," as Asta would then say, "Sure." Both Magna and Asta would go on to prepare for the fight, and they would both jump back, with Asta looking at Magna thinking, what's his magic? As Magna would then pull out his grimoire and prepare a fire bat, as Asta would then say, "So that's it." Asta would then think, I used those two swords today. Maybe I should try out the new one I got. He would then pull out the Demon Slayer sword, as everyone would be looking on, with Yami saying, "You didn't use that sword last time." As Asta would pull out the sword, with Yami thinking, "So what can that sword do?" As Asta would pull out the sword already, Magna would then prepare his attack, sending 3 fireballs spiraling at Asta, with Asta with one hand, with the sword in one of his hands, would then disperse the attacks as if they were nothing, cutting through all 3 of them. As Asta would then say, "Is that all you got?" As Magna would repeat this process over and over again, as Asta's just cutting through the sword, cutting through the fireballs with just one arm. The sword would be heavy to normal Asta, having to use 2 arms, but this sword is as light as a feather to Asta right now. This version of Asta, anyway. He would cut through the attacks as if they were nothing. He would then say, "Give me all you got, Magna." As Magna would then look at Asta, pretty annoyed. He would then charge a large swing and hurl a fireball right at Asta. As Asta would then see this, he would then quickly react, hitting the fireball right at Magna, sending him flying to the ground, giving him in a bit of a daze. Not a concussion or anything like that, just putting him in a daze. As Asta would then say, "I guess I win." As Magna would then get up, spiraling a bit, saying, "You did good, kid. Welcome to the Black Bulls." As Vanessa would see Asta, she would then change his headband, put in the Black Bull logo, and give him his robe, with Asta saying thanks. As that would be going on, everyone would surround Asta, congratulating him on joining the Black Bulls. As Yami would then appear, saying, "Nice work, kid. welcome to the squad. And that is it for the video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want another part, the like goal for this is probably going to be 100 likes within a day. So, yeah, you guys got the last part of this to 100 likes in a day, so I think you guys can get this part. So, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And what else was I going to say? Oh, my 2,000 subscriber special is coming up soon. We'll probably be there in a week or two. So, I will be putting up a poll in the next 2 to 3 days, suggesting the three ideas I have for what I'm going to do for my 2,000 subscriber special. So yeah, help me get there faster, and that's pretty much all I want to say. Whew. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys did, comment down below lightning, and don't forget that the best name for the lightning sword I will use in the next part of this series. So without further ado, this has been King Majin rambling on, signing out. Peace.